Hey, there you are.
News, information, opinions, and trivia. From the cowboy that knows, please welcome Cowboy Ron.
Okay, thank you very much. Glad you're back. Just a little bit of news, and I'm not going to take it in order. I got it listed here. Reagan, the movie, has right about now grossed about $18 million. All they need is another $7 million. They broke even. And that begs to ask a lot of questions. Is the movie, has it been released in Europe? I can't get a lot of information on this. I plan to go back and see it again the second time tomorrow. And then it's going to bring in a lot of movies over the, bringing a lot of viewers over TV. And so it's going to be around for a while, and it's going to be a moneymaker for many, many years. But since the Reagan movie is released, there's been a lot more on YouTube about President Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States. And his humor, his jokes, he was just a wonderful storyteller. And I want to share one of those jokes he told the other day. And I can't do it as good as he does, obviously, or else I wouldn't be doing this for a living. But two men died and were at the pearly gates waiting for Peter to escort him into heaven. Now, one was a politician. He'd served 5 terms in the United States Senate. You get 6 years per term, so he'd been there for 30 years. He went in with about $1 million in his bank. Not a million, but about $1,000 in his bank account, and 30 years later, he was worth a little bit over $1 billion. And the other one was a preacher, a really devoted man, give his life to God, to his fellow man, lived a humble life, took every cent he had and give it to the poor. So Peter escorts him in. He's going to show him around what's going on and things of this nature. And first he comes to the room for the preacher, and he opens up the door. He says, "This will be your room." And it was just a small room, about 12 by 20, with one bunk bed in there and a table and things like that. Then he went down to take the politician to his place. And boy, they set aside a beautiful mansion, thousands and thousands of square feet, and fountains, and all the amenities come with the when you live in a mansion. Well, after all, when he got a chance, the preacher asked St. Peter, how come the politician got a mansion? And he said, well, we've never had a politician up here before. So that was a good joke told by Reagan. I really liked it. Now let's get back a little more serious about the news. Putin warns Ukraine's use of long-range arms will put NATO at war with Russia. In other words, he's going to declare war on NATO, and that also means we're part of NATO. So that means we will be involved. Biden is getting ready President Biden, to give Ukraine missiles that can reach further into Russia. I don't know whether this is a bunch of air or not. Desperate people will do desperate things. And at this point, I think that with so many people having relatives go to war and not coming back, Putin can't hide that. And I think that hopefully it's a bluff. If not, we may be looking at World War III. But we'll see. Now here's something interesting. The Mexican government buses migrants to U.S. border as illegal immigrants become top election issue. What does that tell me? It tells me that they expect Ronald Reagan, I'm not Ronald Reagan, but I got Reagan on my mind right now. I really like that movie. But President Trump to be reelected. And once he is reelected, there's not going to be any more of this nonsense going on. So I'm thinking that's what's the most important part of the message is. Now, Georgia, a judge dismissed 2 of the criminal counts against Trump in the Fani Willis 2020 election interference case. All that is going to be thrown out, I believe, once it gets to the appellate courts outside of liberal judges. But Fani Willis, she's a string news herself. Her daughter got arrested for DWI. Her daughter's not a teenager. And Fani Willis disobeyed a subpoena where she's supposed to come before the Georgia, I believe, Senate. Her excuse is she needs clarification on it. I don't know. She does. Hope she does better with them than she did with the judge. But I think at the end of the day, here's a case that don't do as I do, do as I say do. And these politicians, they just really think that the laws are not for them, but they can do anything that they want to. And I think before the days are over with, President Trump is going to snatch the rug out from under her. Let's see. Oh, a little announcement here for the LDS Church. They announced October General Conference schedule, and you can go on Google News and get a lot of information on that. Great bunch of people, and I enjoy visiting with them time to time. Okay, how about I'll save this for last, best for last. The Trump debate. Again, that's all over the map. Ever since President Trump in 2015 came down the golden stairs, the new norm is new every few days. I watched it in earnest. He did the best for the first 30 minutes. And he won the first 30 minutes. And the good news about that is a lot of people don't watch much more than 30 minutes. But I think the second half, he didn't really take the bait. He didn't want to really scorch her too much, because then they'll go put somebody else in there. They fired President Biden because he did bad in the polls. But again, what I expect to see, if she gets too far down in the polls, about 3 weeks before the election, they'll have Biden resign because of health problems. She will go into the election as President Harris, hoping to get a bounce on the polls. Trump made some good points. I think that he actually won it. The real loser in the debate is ABC News, which is owned by Disney Studios. They really piled up on Trump. He had three. It was 3 against 1. I'd like to see someone draw a cartoon and show President Trump with a knife and Harris and the 2 moderators with shotguns making fun of Trump. He brought a knife to a gunfight, and Trump saying, "I wanted to keep the fight even." Well, that pretty well does everything I wanted to talk about. Appreciate you coming by. Send your friends on over. I'm experimenting a little bit with the site. It's and you notice I got a streamer there, and it shows my 2 blog sites, which have a lot of news, a lot of information, different things on there on the cowboyron.com. I got categories for the West, things that still make my day, whether it be music, TV ads, display ads, history, and you'll enjoy it. In fact, I like to brag that I got the only blog site out where you'll want to spend the weekend with. So, good night and happy trails.